All right. So here's the explanation. For the first part of my care and respect, I'm not going to do this for every single song or lyrics. It's just, this one is shorter and easier to explain. I'm going to try to explain all the metaphors, double entendres, rhyme schemes, and my thought process between them. But it has been a long while since I've written this. And yeah, so I'm going to start with this whole section. And it goes, listen, my care has fallen quite a few stairs. It's broken like a tear in a hymen. It's no longer a virgin. Big blue fire, it's burning. So many burglars, it's mostly stolen. For the nice pair of tokens for this fair vocation with wires bared. Watch the corrosion with each bounce higher. For more torn emotion, all the hardware forgotten, gone haywire. My disposition is in wear. My situation fell off the chair. Our trust is loosened, walls of despair. Each brick chosen from my mirror. Facade closet, my nightwear. My skeleton is just layers of sand. So, we'll start with this, listen. We'll start with the rhymes and then we'll go into the metaphors and double entendres and the thought process between it. So, listen. So we got N, but it's 10. Then, my care. So we got two. We're going back and forth, N, air. Or N, 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 N. That was my thought process between this scheme, or a rhyme scheme at least. Listen, my care has fallen quite, and this is where you still get it. So I got it, right? And actually I should have one at my, because it's listen, my care has fallen quite a few stairs. But goes listen, N air, N air, N air, N air, N air, all the way through, right? All the way down to sand, which sand and listen, they sort of go together, but they're not full rhymes. And this is where a lot of my stuff goes, where it's not all rhymes, right? Or all rhyme correctly, but it's more of how it sounds and it's more pleasing to the ear, right? So listen, my care has fallen quite a few stairs. So you got my, quite, and they sort of just put it together like a puzzle piece. That was like how I try to put this together, right? And then we got uh, and then no more uhs, but I'll repeat if I say my, except for like this first time. If I say my, I'll usually repeat my again. Let me see. So like my right here. My disposition is in where my situation fall off the chairs. All trust is loosened, right? So I'll try to at least repeat it twice to get a repeating word, so it can sort of mix it together like sewing, right? So quite a few stairs. It's broken, and there it is. Like, so you got quite and like, my tear and a hymen, right? Now tear, care, stairs, they all have the air sound. They all have the which is what I'm going for. And then men, fallen, listen. I don't really say the 10. I don't say list 10. I say listen, right? So it sort of sounds like an in, fallen, hymen. I don't really go n. I go in, more like. And then this is the first one where it's, right? So that's just three. It's repeating. So and I'll try to start another repeating. So before I end a repeating, like the A repeating, I'll try to start another repeating if I remember, if I think about it. So the A repeating ends here. So the it's repeating starts here, right? And then virgin. So hymen, virgin, and then big blue. And this is another one where it's like if the word's starting at the same, right after each other or like near each other, sort of like burning, burglar, which I didn't put doubles down here, but big blue, burning, burglar, right? They're all repeating because I was thinking, oh, right? So big blue, fire, and fire and longer don't really go well with like, longer, tear, fire, tear. Not really making the same sound, but it's the sound, and you're getting other added words to sort of take away from the sound that we're getting the so your mind is thinking, oh, we're adding more stuff in, Where's that repeating pattern? Oh, here it is. Right? Like a tear in a hymen is no longer a virgin. Big blue fire. So, instead of the short, it's a little bit bigger. And then you get the so you're like, oh, there it is. And then it's burning. And it's sort of, NN. But, go burning, big blue fire. And right before here was virgin. So burning, virgin really go well together. And then, so many burglars. And then, we got the burglars to the fire. It's mostly stolen. And then we have this where it's many and mostly, where it's the first word right here, M go together, and then many, mostly, right? And then we got stolen and mostly. The O's sort of go together, at least that's how I see it, but I don't know how it sounds to others. And then we got, stolen, burning, stolen. A fairly nice pair of tokens, right? I actually go of tokens, right? I try to do like a W sound in there. A fairly nice pair of tokens for this fair occasion, right? Fairly nice pair of tokens for this fair occasion. But we also got fairly right here with fair, sort of goes with the sound, so that will pop up to your sound. But then you also got F, like the word fair, fairly, with this fair. And then you got mostly, many, fairly, right? And then you got nice, pair, right? And pair ends the ER with the burglar. And then you got love tokens for this fair occasion. And then you also got this sound that you're getting, right? So stolen doesn't really have it, but token for this fair occasion with wires bared for watch this corrosion, right? Oh. And then you got this for, which is right here, and then right here. Actually, let's see. Yeah, no, I don't know why I put this on 4. Maybe it's an or sound, or it's because it's an R. But yeah. And then we also have this, where it's this, right? This sort of goes with its and stuff like that. But we also have this with, and then you got with, stuff like that. With, it's with. And then we have this shun also going here. So we're, shun. A code like token doesn't really go for this fair occasion. Wires bared, watch the corrosion, with each mouse higher for more torn emotion. So we're going shun, but we're also getting that N. And then right here we got this E because we get each bounce for more torn emotion, which sort of puts this together because we stopped the W because of, of nice pair of tokens for this fair occasion with wires bared, watch the corrosion. Really, we should have the W, like W. And then bared going back over there. Then Ires, right? Wires, going on. And then we have the with, and each going down here. Bounce is just sort of an oddball, which is actually helpful to dispatch so it doesn't all just go and sound weird. And then we got higher with wires, but you also have the ER. And then we have 4, more, torn, right? So that's 3 that all sound similar to each other, sort of rhyme. 4, more, torn, emotion, which also sort of spreads out the wah, right? And then we got all the hardware is forgotten. So we got a new one coming in, hardware, right? H-ware, HWR, right? Then we have is, right? Is in it, is, loosen, despair, brick, right? We're adding an I to the sound as well. And then where is it? Yeah, right here, forgotten, but we also got gotten, gone, right? And then we have 4 more torn emotion. All the hardware is forgotten, gone haywire, right? Haywire, hardware. My disposition is in where, and then, hardware is in where, but also it puts it sort of in a way where it sounds similar, put together. It's just sort of, works together. And then 4 is also going into the torn, and then gotten, N, but also gotten, gone. Those make similar sounds because they're gotten. And then, haywire. My disposition is in where my situation, fall off the chair. And then we got fall going into all right over here. And then trust is loosened, walls of despair. So we got trust is, and then loosen. Loosen goes with chosen. There. Loosen, chosen. Which I sort of do is at the end. And you got wall, all, wall of trust. And then and we got stuff like that, right? Each going into nothing because there's no line on here. I assumed I would have done that, but I guess not. It's just sort of a oddball here, which, like I said, isn't always bad. You want to have a break between all these adding things. You got brick, chosen, from my mirror. Then you got my again, right? 3 my's. But you also got mirror, my, mirror, my, nightwear, my, skeleton. N sort of goes with M. So we got my mirror, my nightwear, right? Then we got facade going into the closet, or facade going into the front. Just a all going together. And then we got et, which came a long way from 10, but we sort of got a sound coming into that, right? Closet, skeleton. So we sort of get that sound in there, but not really. But it doesn't sound too off because we have all these other rhyming, all these other matching things together. And we got facade, closet, which sort of go open together, so it doesn't sound too broken up. And then we have my nightwear, which we still got wear, mirror, don't really go well together, but you got the N with the M, and like I said, my mirror, my nightwear, sort of sound well together. Then we got my skeleton going over here. To go together, but we also got the S right here. And if you notice right here, let's see, where is it? Because I just remembered this. I have ones ending in S's. Sort of matching. No, that's not the other one, not this one. But, my skeleton is just layers of sand. And just of go together to sort of complete this. And then we got layers, sand, right? Sand and skeleton because of their S's. And then sand, skeleton. Don't really match too well. But you got the SN and the skeleton. And since this is the N before we pick up, it sort of sounds like a good ending point where you sort of complete the rhyme, but not completely. But it sounds like a good ending point, like there's not a continuation, but you're anticipating more. So yeah. Now we have the metaphors real quick. Listen, I'm trying to get your attention, right? But it's also, this is something that you should listen to, not just watch. You should pay attention to, and paying attention, listening, takes a lot more than just looking. You can't really unfocus as much. My care, which is, something important to me. Everyone knows what care is, but I'm explaining my care as if it's a physical thing, but it's also mine. I'm connecting it to me, has fallen. So I held it up in a high pedestal, and it's fallen. I held it up, and I dropped it. No matter what was happening, I was holding it, and now it's not there anymore, right? Quite a few stairs, which means I was also on stairs. I was on a higher level, not just holding it in my hand, and it's fallen below, not just my feet, not just like the low level of down to the ground, but further down, quite a few stairs, which, quite a few is way more than just 3, right? And it's also, breaking down quite a few stairs. It's broken. So it's not just, oh, you got to pick it up, walk up the stairs and bring it to me. It's broken. You broke it. It's got to be fixed. You got to be renewed along with picking it up and bringing it to me. Like a tear in a hymen, which means, a tear in a hymen, virgin, is a sign of purity. And the pure care that I had in it, the pure trust that I had in this is not there anymore. Because, you broke it. You made me drop it. You made me break it. Now it's torn. And now it's no longer pure. It's no longer a virgin, like I said. Right? And you got the tear, hymen. You also have the repeating scheme of like fallen, broken, tear. Things that you don't want to have happen to your precious stuff, your precious care, right? It's no longer a virgin, big blue fire, hot fire. It's burning. So it's still destroying it, right? So it's not just being broken. Don't think it's just broken. It's burning to ashes. It's becoming more and more difficult for you to repair, more and more difficult for you to fix, right? So many burglars, it's mostly stolen. So not only is it just like, it's not just naturally things that are happening. People are coming in and stealing it, and you're gonna need to bring all the pieces back from all these other people to fix my care, for me to even really care, for me to care about what you're doing, care about what you're saying, care about you, right? So it's mostly stolen, right? So many burglars, it's mostly stolen. So it's pretty much all gone, but it's still burning down there and burning in other people's hands. So it's taken into pieces, so it's even harder to fix. A fairly nice pair of tokens, which is a few double entendres, but it's a reference to somebody was gambling when I was doing this, when I was writing this down. They were gambling and they were speaking about some breasts and stuff like that. So it's a reference to that, which a lot of people wouldn't get, but I wrote it in anyways. So I'm explaining it. But it's also a fairly nice pair of tokens, as in you have a really good lot it was a really good lot. It was something worthy. It was something worth it. A fairly nice pair of tokens. It's not just, oh, this is just some shabby care. It's like actually important. It was a fairly nice pair of tokens for this fair occasion, which basically means that, like, first off, tokens to a fair. I went to the Kitsap Fair and we'd always have to get these tokens. But also, fair, like it's fair, graceful, right? So this is showing how pure this thing was, and then how dark this thing that I'm going into truly became because of these things, right? It's a fairly nice pair of tokens for this fair occasion. I don't have to describe what an occasion is. With wires bared, watch corrosion. So, wires bared, more descriptions of how broken it is. If you have bared wires, it's dangerous. It's not good. You should fix it. You should replace it, right? Watch the corrosion. So it's still being corroded. It's still being broken down. It's the corrosion of it, and watch it. So you listen, and now you got to watch out. You got to watch for it. With each bounce higher for more torn emotion. So it's still falling. It's still bouncing while all this burning and stealing and corrosion is going on. It's still bouncing, and each bounce is getting higher and breaking more and more and becoming more destructive while falling down. With each bounce higher for more torn emotion. And there it is, torn. It's still being torn, and it's emotion. My care is being mixed in with the emotion, and torn emotions aren't good emotions. And it's increasing with each bounce. All the hardware, the insides, what makes it up, is forgotten. What makes up my care, what made me want to care, is broken. It's forgotten. Gone haywire, gone bad, gone haywire. My disposition, a position, I have to describe a disposition? Nah, not really. Like, it's my disposition of care. It's forgotten. I don't remember why I had to have a disposition. It's in where, this is a double entendre for, disposition and where, wearing together with a facade. Down here, I'm sort of adding on to this. But it's also in where, like it's worn down. It's in where, broken, worn. My situation. So this is also bringing in not just in where, but it's also bringing in my situation is also in where. My disposition is in where, my situation is in where. Fall off the chair. And then this is also relating, my situation isn't just in where, but my situation is falling off the chair. It's fall off the chair. As in, I sat down in the chair, and then I fell off it. All trust is loosened. So this is a triple entendre because I was thinking of trust like a house trust, right? But then also trust, as in I trust in you. I trusted my care to you, and it didn't matter to you. And then also trust, as in you trust the chair. You sit down in the chair and you just blindly trust it. It's not going to fall, but it's loosened. The screws that was keeping this chair together, is loosened. Walls of despair. And then I was also thinking of like Looney Tunes when I was putting this together. But walls of despair, each brick chosen, right? So wall is like, I'm putting up walls of despair because my care is broken down. In the despair, it's so bad that I'm putting up walls from this broken down trust. Walls of despair, each brick chosen from my mirror facade closet. So each brick is carefully chosen from my mirror. When I look in the face, and then I see this facade, what I look like. I'm choosing it from my closet. I'm choosing it from what I see in the mirror every time with this broken care. I put it into this facade. My nightwear, now what I'm wearing, my disposition, what I'm wearing is my skeleton, and this is a double entendre. It's what's on my inside, the scary on stuff, and then, what's supposed to be in my closet. My skeleton's supposed to be in my closet, but I'm wearing it. It's my nightwear. It's what I go to sleep with every night, the broken care. is just layers of sand. So what I'm wearing is just layers of sand. It's just layers of broken down destruction. My care is turned into sand. And it's also things that aren't a strong foundation. You know, it's loosened, it's broken up. It's not a strong foundation. I believe, I can't remember what verse it is, but it speaks about how you build your cornerstone on a stone, not on sand, or it'll fall over. The building will break down. My care, my trust is built on the sand. So it's going to break, it's going to fall. It doesn't matter. It's just layers of it. Layers as in, you know, putting down layers on clothes, but also layers as in my layer, where I live, what I'm in, what I'm consumed in. It's just layers of sand. And this sort of completes this whole rhyme scheme, but this rhyme scheme goes into the second part, so you really should also look at the second part I'm going to upload eventually. But really or eventually, like within 4 to 5 days. Just got to record that one too. I already have the other one right here. But yeah, it's just layers of sand. My nightwear, all of this, my care, my respect, it's describing its falling, its breaking, its destruction, and how much it's destroyed, and what it's done to how I act and how I present myself and what I'm wearing and trusting in. And it brought my care that was pure as a virgin and as important as these fairly nice pair of tokens to a broken down, destroyed closet skeleton that's just made out of sand. And yeah, I'm at 11%, so I think it's gonna stop at 10%. So yeah, thank you. Tell me what you thought in the comments. This is my best way to explain it. And yeah, this is part 1. I'm hoping to upload part 2. This is my care and respect. Thank you. Like if you want, subscribe if you want. I don't really care. Comment on this stuff. If you liked it, like it. Thank you. Bye.